Hello everyone, welcome to Let's Talk Tobago. I'm Amadara Mills. In this week's episode, we're here in the heart of the Republic Day celebrations taking place in the East, Roxborough to be exact. It's a day packed with activities, from the Republic Day parade to the thrilling regatta action, to the evening celebrations with a cultural show and fireworks. We're here to bring you a taste of it all. So get your favorite drink, sit back, relax. Let's Talk Tobago starts now.
Whoa, welcome to paradise. You will feel so nice in Tobago. This party island, we vibes it strong like white brown boy. Party sweet on the road, from your reach you go know. It's bacchanal non-stop, this song go leave we and come back boy. Party sweet on the road, from your reach you go know. Come join the Konyan band.
The Republic Day Parade started 4 years ago as a way to share our national celebrations with those in the east of the island. Members of our armed forces proudly marched from Lamy Road in Argyle all the way to the Sid Gray Sporting Complex in Roxborough. The parade contingent includes the police service, the fire service, the defense force, the Coast Guard, and the prison service. Even our little ones in clubs like Scouts and Cadets also lined up to march. Have a look at the highlights from this year's parade. Another element of the day's celebrations is the Power Boats Regatta, a racing event for our sea sport lovers. In that spirit, let's power into that segment. Here with us one of the members of the organizing committee. Can you give us your name and the organization you're representing?
My name is Arnold Lindo, and I represent the Tobago Association of Powerboating and Aquatic Sports. We try to bring the boat racing field back to Roxborough. Roxborough used to have something called bumboat racing, right, which is now dormant. My grandfather, Carlton Lindo, he was the organizer of the bumboat racing in Roxborough. It used to be an Easter event here in Roxborough. So this Republic event sort of like replaced that Easter event, right? Roxborough used to be packed with people for the Easter regatta, right? So the power boats are now used to regenerate the boat racing sport in Roxborough, Tobago.
Now, is it very significant that you all have it on Republic Day, this regatta? Tell us the importance of having it on Republic Day.
Okay, well, I think this event was brought to Roxborough by Mr. Hilton Sandy in his time, right? And after he demitted office, Roxborough felt that this event needed to continue, right? So the villagers formed the organization so that this event can continue.
I wanted to ask you, as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, how do you feel that we are celebrating 46 years as a republic?
Well, it's a great feeling, right, as a republic. Tobago on the whole, So much to do on Republic Day. We had the march past this morning, and then today now the boat show. Later on we'll have the cultural events. So Republic is really, a bright celebration in Roxborough.
So we have here two gentlemen who would have participated in the races here at the regatta. So tell us, give us your names and where you're from, and the name of the boat.
My name is Terry Serrett from Trinidad. We have the driver here who is Anthony Joseph. The boat is a 20-foot formula powered by a Yamaha outboard engine. It was a nice experience racing in this regatta. Now, this is the first time for us up here in this regatta. It's a new experience, and we're taking it however we get,
Now, I wanted to ask you, what has your experience been like as well?
Well, my experience, I always had experience with boats, especially with speed and so on, so it wasn't nothing new to me.
All right, now you were explaining, you said, as a team, you all have different roles in the boat. Explain that to us.
One person throttles the boat, which gives the boat the speed that the boat goes at, and the next person steers the boat. Right, so we have a driver and we have a throttleman. One steers the boat and one accelerates or decelerates. Anyway.
What did you all place in the races that you all participated in today?
So far we ran 2 circuits. In the first circuit we came in second, and in the last circuit there we came in first. Right, there's one more race again, I believe, for the day, which is a sprint from there down to this side of the jetty. So we just trying to get the boat ready. Not much to do, the boat is well prepared. We use the boat a lot. So, and that's the thing, if you fail to prepare to fail.
So I wanted to ask, how do you feel about the placing here today at the regatta?
I feel not too bad, just confident with the other races coming up.
Right. And how do you feel about, what you would have placed?
Good. I mean, there's a lot of trial and error now. You have to pay in the time to get the boat to work how it is you want it to work, And the only way you do that is putting the boat into the water and running the boat. A lot of guys believe that they would just fix it on the land and it will be good. No, you need to put it and put it to the test. And that's something we do with our boat a lot. Every weekend we down the islands taking a little lime, but it's not also liming, it's also trying to see what will go wrong with the boat. Now, man-made stuff, things will go wrong, I understand, but once you prepare, I guess you'll be all right.
So we're here with one of the boat racers. Can you give us your name and tell us the name of the boat that you raced?
Well, my name is Roland Foa. I am the owner and the charterman powered by God 2.
And what was it like on the water today, Mr. Roland?
Well, the race was really enjoyable for me. The water was just right. A little chop, a little calm here and there, but it was perfect condition for racing.
And what did you place in the race? Tell us the event that you would have participated in and what you placed.
Well, the first race we did a 1 lap, came third, and the 2 lap I dropped out.
All right. So tell us, Roland, how are you enjoying the Roxborough Regatta festivities up on this side of the island?
Well, every year I look forward to coming Roxborough to race because it's one of the, I should say, more loving event on the island, right? And I just look forward for it every year and hoping to take part in it every year because I love racing.
I wanted to find out, we're celebrating Republic Day today, how do you feel as a country, as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, being able to, reach, 46 years as a republic?
Well, it's nice, right? At 46 years, republic, what I can say, it's just to enjoy it. Enjoy the best side.
So I'm here with Dr. Faith B. Israel, the Deputy Chief Secretary. Congratulations. As well as the Secretary for Health, Wellness and Social Protection. Dr. B. Israel, how are you enjoying the day today?
It's been a wonderful day. It started with the parade. Then we went over to the award ceremony that the minister held. And now we are here at the Roxborough Regatta. I'm having a good time today.
Can I ask you, you've been to all these events today, all these various activities, any of them your favorites?
Oh gosh, why would you ask me that? Why would you ask?
You know how to ask.
But this evening I look forward to the cultural show and I look forward to the fireworks and so forth this evening. But you know what? I really can't pick a favorite because I enjoyed every single one of them. They cater to a different crowd. They have, different spectators and so forth. And this is exactly what we need for Roxborough.
Because I wanted to ask you that as well, the importance of bringing these kinds of national and patriotic celebrations to the east of the island.
Certainly. Well, those of us from the east usually feel that we are a little neglected. So I am always happy when we can bring activities to the east, because we're not just bringing the activities, we are actually bringing economic activity as well. And as you can see, we have vendors all over the place. We have people actually making money. We have people ensuring that they have a bread and butter, and that is what we need for the east of the island. Yes, I'm happy when the entire island develops.
And that's great to hear. Now, as a policymaker, can you tell us what does being a republic mean to you? What does, us celebrating 46 years of being a republic mean to you?
Certainly. Well, being a republic means that we can do our own things. It means that we are manning our own house. We are in charge of our own destiny. And that, I think, is very important, because it means we can chart the way. We can decide for ourselves right here in Trinidad and Tobago where we go, what we do, and why we do it. I would actually go further, and that is why we are talking about, autonomy for Tobago and greater autonomy for Tobago, so that we can chart that same destiny for the island. So I am happy that we are here celebrating Republic Day. I'm happy that Trinidad and Tobago has gotten to this point, because there are many nations that are now doing it, even in the Caribbean. There are countries that are still now becoming a republic in the Caribbean. So it shows that we have a level of maturity that I really appreciate. And I am glad to be a part of the policy making so that we can advance those agendas.
And any Republic Day greetings, to the people of Tobago?
Certainly, I want to say to all of Tobago, I want to say to every single one of you, happy Republic Day. Enjoy the day, enjoy the holiday. Be safe out there, be safe out there. And let me just take a plug in. My staff at the hospital in Roxborough, I just got a note that they have actually been doing a lot of work. So while everybody else is enjoying themselves, they are the ones picking up everybody who fainted, who fainted at the parade today. So I want to say to the Roxborough Health Facility, the staff members there, thank you all so much. To Thames, everyone, thank you all so much for the hard work that you all are putting in, while the rest of us are here enjoying ourselves. But to the Trinidad and Tobago, happy Republic Day. Enjoy the day, be safe, and again, come out this afternoon for the cultural show, because I'm excited about the fireworks.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Faith B. Israel. So there we have it, our Deputy Chief Secretary and Secretary for Health, Wellness and Social Protection, enjoying herself up here in Roxborough and proudly representing, the people of the east of Tobago. Thank you very much.
It is always a pleasure to be home. Roxborough is the village that birthed me, and therefore it's always exciting to see Republic Day bringing the entire Tobago converging on Roxborough and displaying our true sense of hospitality, our true sense of camaraderie, our true sense of uniqueness as a people of the community of Roxborough. And I am pleased thus far, looking this morning on the parade, there was a lot of new initiative in terms of us bringing horses for the first time. I'm very proud as the Assistant Commissioner responsible for the K9 unit to ensure that we got that in Tobago, in Roxborough for the first time. And of course, the powerboat race. Roxborough was known for powerboat racing. People like Mr. Carlton Lindo would have fought years in order to ensure that this sport stay alive in Roxborough. And therefore, I remember as a young boy what we used to call discovery. That was the day when we used to be this very spot. We had lots of sailboat race that we will come as young boys to look at Zeppelin and all these boats participate. And ensuring that it continue is really important. So I am happy to see that the sporting aspect of the boat race is alive and well, and even descendant of Mr. Lindo is still involved in it and keeping it up and well. So I want to say congratulations to all who are responsible, and of course the police is here to ensure that safety and order is maintained. We are looking forward for a crime-free day in Roxborough, and hats off to everyone.
What does being a republic mean for you?
Republic for me meant that we as a people is able to stand on our own. We are able to make our own decisions. We are able to raise our own identity with our flag. Our flag represents to us a meaning of a people coming together in one bond, in one unity, united and identity, that wherever we go, the red, white and black, we will feel proud of that and we will cherish that as our own.
How are you enjoying the celebrations up here in Roxborough today?
Well, I find it's perfect. The weather is perfect today. Like, taking into consideration the weather for the past 2 days, we have a beautiful day today and a great turnout.
All right, and that's great to hear. Is this your first time up on this side?
It is not, but in a long time, yes. I feel like if everybody was looking forward to everything coming back, like the anticipation was built up and now the turnout is like way different, yeah.
All right. Now, we're celebrating 46 years as a republic. How do you feel as a, a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago being able to celebrate 46 years as a republic?
One word, and that's proud.
Can you give us your name and where are you from?
Chris Ramsawak, I'm from Trinidad, Port of Spain.
All right. And Mr. Ramsawak, you're here up at the Republic Day Regatta in Roxborough. Tell us, why did you come up here?
Oh, well, what happened is we have one boat in the competition, and I have one boat here just for the boat show that was done yesterday.
How are you enjoying the celebrations in Roxborough?
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful here. Really, really, people here make you feel at home. The races is really nice. It's even getting better and better, more professional. Every time we come, I see this happening, growing. It's really, really nice. The people here is very warm, comfortable. The atmosphere, everything is beautiful, and it's getting better and better, even more professional every time we come here.
How do you feel about coming second place in your class in the regatta here? What are your feelings about that? Because I know you were very energetic and like you're showing a lot of zeal with your partners over under the 10 day. How do you feel about participating and placing?
Well, I'll tell you something. The thing is not about winning. The thing is about being here and enjoying it and enjoying the race. Winning and winning a prize is just bragging rights. But being here and enjoying and being part of it with the warm, nice people here is amazing.
Tell us your name and where you're from.
All right, well, I'm Desiree Francis, originally Desiree Fraser from right here in Roxborough. I did come for the parade this morning, got here a little late, so I only got the bit from this area to the stadium. So yeah, it's been going great so far. I've not been back to Roxborough for this parade since I left here, probably about 30 years ago.
But you just said you got caught up with friends, so I guess it's a sense of socializing, meeting up with people you haven't seen in a long time. That's the essence of this kind of celebration.
Definitely. I mean, I've met so many people here today that I haven't seen in a long time. They haven't seen me in a long time, so it's a lot of chatting taking place. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
A Republic Day Awards ceremony held by the Central Administrative Services Tobago CAST under the Office of the Prime Minister was also a part of Tobago's celebrations. That too took place in this community. We head over to the Roxborough Secondary School to take in that event.
In our third year, we introduced the award ceremony as a way of bringing goodwill and good gesture to Tobago East and recognizing some of the men and women in our community who would have served in some way. And as I often tell people about, I'm a Trinidadian, but I'm a proud Tobago girl. I want us to ensure that in Tobago, ensure that our young people understand how important it is for us always hold a nation of the pride.
Festivities on the island aren't complete without a cultural show. Themed Forging a Brighter Horizon, a Republic Story. The performances included calypso renditions, a steel pan showdown, and exciting dance routines. Take a look.
Sexy ways, the way she moves so sweet, but the doctor want to eat. So the girl she under pressure, but the doctor want to cook her. Push she in a pressure cooker. He pick up the people and drum, start to dance and the beat it drum. The girl know I go down. She whine to the beat of the drum.
Good day to all sundry, family, friends and politicians and everybody out there. We the people at Roxborough and the Police Troopers PG-Fires are happy to have you here. Republic Day is always a special occasion for the business community and all our way because we get our own parade and we fireworks and we get to celebrate with everybody. So eat, don't drink too much, be merry and have a ball. As we say to you, happy 46th Republic Day to one and all. Beat your drum, Mr. Drummer.
Politicians, we like to criticize, we love to make excuse, we seem to enjoy casting blame and pelting abuse. But when the government come, the government go. It's one thing I really want you to know: we the people are the heart and soul of this land, and this we have to solve this situation. The bottom line is that we, you and me, got to summon all our resolve and try to and nail, save this land as we love. Cause problems will come and problems will go. Experts will say how to get them solved. It's we have to fight to save this land as we love. The village of moving as one, a blessed rich tradition. What time waiting, come on, let we sing. Play homage, I sing Tobago. There we go. I said Tobago, Tobago. There we go. I said Tobago, Tobago. This is our lovely rainforest. There we go. Tobago, Tobago. There we go. And the master Cocrico. There we go. And we burn. Come on, let me go. And there we go. And there we go. There we go. There we go. So when they come with their songs and drums, we should tell them, Tobago, tell them. I say, make it understood better, no. And we know
reach Tobago.
Stink and dirty.
I was born in a village. I learned my upbringing, where all was forgiving. So I'm in tune with my spirit. I was born as a warrior. My father was a sick fighter. So why is not no pushover? Now we're fighting back.
They come out of bus med. Give those the belting like they want a bus med. No matter what they do, me I do pound for them. They know like they want to come from it. So tell them come from it.
Girl, me say come back, come on and do.
Tomorrow is me wedding day.
Girl, me say come back, come on and do.
Tomorrow is me wedding day.
Girl, me say come back, come on and do.
Tomorrow is me wedding day.
Girl, me say come back, come on and do.
Tomorrow is me wedding day.
Girl, me say come back, come on and do.
Monday and Tuesday, I wind and loosely, tripping down the road, and we're breaking our way. What? I can't stay home no day, and missing there's no way. On top of cloud nine, let's make it, guys, making it. If it's you, we get you know. Lemon, night and day we fetching on. Well, come by me, we gonna bend over, come on. Cause the carnival sweet like Tobago. They condensed making me cocoa. The girl never hot like flambo, one back like Rambo. Put it up.
I think I could not go alone. No other place, eh?
Come, let me go down the road.
So watch me, just watch me now. So watch me, just watch me now.
I beg your fly, trim bag or fly. Cut all the strings, free your wings and just like the dove, come let we rise above. I said fly, trim bag or fly. We crash and we fall in spite of it all. Just exude your love, come let we rise above.
Thanks for staying with us as we brought you the Republic Day festivities which took place in the eastern community of Roxborough. As usual, you can email us with your comments or queries about the program. Visit our website, like our Office of the Chief Secretary Facebook page, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. From our house to yours, I'm Amadara Mills, wishing you a safe and productive week. Now, in case you missed it, here's a look back at the fireworks display which concluded in the 2022 Republic Day celebrations.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. As we continue to give God thanks for life, I am Julian Skeet.
And I am Ria Richardson George, and this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning to you, Tobago. Good morning, Trinidad. Those of you in the Caribbean and those of you viewing us on the live, good morning. It's Monday morning, Julian Skeet. Good morning.
Yes, and we're into what persons would now say is officially the start of Carnival in Tobago, 2022 Tobago Carnival. And more than that, we are also on that lineup heading down to the close of the year. Some have already begun the countdown to Christmas of 2022, December. It's that kind of time.
If it's not Carnival, then it's Christmas. But certainly, that's a good time to be alive.
Yeah, and we've had over the weekend, Ria, indeed, I want to say kudos and congratulations to Mighty Crush and the entire team. It was a dream. It was a dream. I really, really enjoyed the celebrations happening there. I want to say that was the right start to the Tobago Carnival of 2022. If you're into soca and culture and the art form, it was most certainly the right start. And I want to say commendations to Mighty Crush and the entire team for hosting that event there. Ria, in fact, it was early morning, and the reality of the sunlight and the morning time didn't hit me until I exited the Dream Dome at Shaw Park.
Wow, Julian. I tell you, never a dull moment on a weekend with Julian Skeet, I tell you. But I know yesterday as well, DJ Polo and the team had their Purity concert. I was not able to make it. Sometimes, life reminds me that I'm no longer 22. And and sometimes on a Sunday, it is so difficult to get out, within your home space and your environment. Sometimes it's so difficult to get out. But I understand that the event went well. So congratulations and commendations going out to them as well.
And it was also a beautiful indication, as far as I could have seen, in terms of yesterday. I had the chance to head out to the beach, and you take the time out to enjoy it ever so often, because persons say, we live here where people want a vacation.
And we don't enjoy it.
And we don't normally take that time out. And I want to say that, the amount of persons that we saw out, and families and so on, it really sends a signal in terms of the local aspect of tourism and being able to capitalize on the amount of persons coming here. From Trinidad at that. And in the mix of all of that, we had some interesting statements being made. You heard the Prime Minister? Some very interesting statements being made, folks. But we head on over to news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Julian and Ria. I am Candace Jackson, and here is your news in 90 seconds for Monday, 3rd October 2022. One man was charged with the murder of his cousin and will appear before the Scarborough Magistrate Court today. According to police reports, the Director of Public Prosecution advised that 54-year-old Kurt James faced charges for the murder of Matthew Kenrick James. The incident occurred on Saturday, 24th September 2022 at Storby Local Road. The police report stated that when they arrived at the scene of a wounding, they encountered James. James claimed a male relative approached him as he was heading toward his backyard garden and warned him not to enter it while brandishing a cutlass and a hoe. An altercation ensued during which the male relative was chopped several times. The victim died at the scene. Meanwhile, political leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, Watson Duke, slammed the national budget presentation as evil. According to Duke, the increase in fuel prices are an attempt by the PNM government to prevent poor people from being able to eat. He explained that food prices in the country are already high after rising several times during recent years, and that higher fuel prices will drive up food prices even more. Duke believes the budget is just another way to oppress the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And nationally, Oropush West MP Devendranat Tanku has challenged government MP Keith Scotland to ride his bicycle to Parliament today. Tanku took the Port of Spain South MP to task for out-of-touch comments made during his contribution to the debate on the 2023 budget. Scotland suggested that riding a bicycle and using a coal pot for cooking would help citizens manage the higher fuel costs. Tanku said, quote, "This is how this PNM government views citizens. While they give their friends, family and financiers billions of taxpayers' dollars, the PNM's recommendation to citizens is to go back to coal pot and bicycle." End quote. And that was the news in 90 seconds. It is back to you, Julian and Ria.
Thank you
very much,
there,
Candice.
Julian, I think I need to go back to the coal pot days. Serious. Learn how to do the bake fire on top, fire below. I need to, I need to go back to those days because pretty soon we will not be able to buy gas.
I'm a bit confused. And confused in the sense that when it's not one MP reminding us about, apparently people need to be thankful and we like to have things a particular way in TNT, is another MP reminding us to go back to the days of the coal pot and so on. And I don't know, that just takes me back to my childhood years when you're growing up in your, just cross 18 and so, and your parents reminding you of how privileged you are. Yes, I'm privileged because you worked hard. Are you trying to tell me that you expect me to live in 1980s times? It's not practical. People say bring back the old time days. I do not subscribe to that foolishness. Most of us cannot survive in the old time days as it is now because of how we have brought up our children with the privileges of these times.
They
so
will
let's
not
not become
survive.
impractical and think that do. So when I hear things like these, I almost find it it's scaringly comical, confusing, to say the least.
But at the rate we're going, what happens when we can no longer afford to? Because every year there is an increase or there are increases and there's no increase in the wages.
Correct. And that's, it comes back to where there seems to be a serious imbalance in terms of how we operate. Everything else is going up. Everything else is becoming more costly, but the wages aren't moving at a similar kind of rate. If it is that we want the standard of living for the average citizen, to be modified to accommodate the difficult times we live in, then I have to ask the question, where's the modification in the standard of living for the president of this country? Where's the modification for the standard of living for the prime minister of this country? The ministers and MPs that hold office, those in senior office, are we going to similarly see a modification in the lifestyle? Because far and large, we the taxpayers pay for that. We cover the cost for those lifestyles by virtue of respect and courtesies that are extended to the office. So, it's difficult to say on one end, that one grouping of citizens should feel the effect of it. But on the other end, we're going to carry on as though things are quite normal in Trinidad and Tobago. So as comical as it might be, I want to see how many of them will really get on bicycles and ride to the Parliament in going forward, not just for the upcoming sitting. But let me see you do it going forward.
That's
so that
right.
it really seeks to cut the cost, and the privileges with regards to high-end vehicles and all these things. Yes, these are courtesies that are offered, but one cannot expect the burden of this country only for the poor and the average citizen to feel it. But for those who have, you continue to be able to enjoy a standard of living. And I close my gate when I get home and I'm in my luxury land. And then I head back out into the reality of the world where the complaints and issues are. It's a very... is a touchy and a sore point as to where we are at in this country.
And I feel like all I need to say at this point is amen. This is where the applause should come. This is where the amen should come.
You know,
yes.
let's really see how all of this turns out, because interesting enough, these tough times are presented this year in the budget, next year in the budget. But so help me God, by the time we get to 2024 and 2025, miraculously, the budget is now able to present goodies because we are heading into an election once again. I mean, it's unacceptable. We got to find ways to balance the scale a bit more.
Right.
And probably let me leave it there for now, Ria, because I would go well beyond the views of Tobago updates, and these are the views of Julian Ski. All right? Yes.
I think we need to find you to cool you down a little bit.
Let's leave it there for now. Ria, who do we have on the rundown this morning before we head on into our birthday lineup?
And I'm glad that we're able to switch gears a little bit here and to, help you to take it down just a little bit. So coming up this morning on the program, we will be chatting with Caroline Birchwood James. And this morning, the focus is on her thoughts on the budget, the budget that was read just about a week ago. So we're going to be talking budget 2023 and the Tobago tourism sector.
All right, excellent. And who else do we have on our lineup this morning?
That's right. And then we're going to be chatting with Brendan Gray, who's the branch manager at Tatil Tobago. And again, we're talking budget 2023, Tobago's business sector. And then we're going to close things off this morning, Julian. And I know you're going to be happy. You're going to be happy with this one here because we're talking Spice Mass at the Tobago Carnival. And Kelvin Jacob, who is the CEO of Spice Mass, is going to be joining us online, and we're going to be chatting with him. So Grenada, we're connecting with you this morning.
Yes, indeed. So we'll certainly be getting a sense of the updates happening here, feedback, perspectives on our budget of 2023 with the focus, and then also giving that touch for the exchange. And that was a follow-up opportunity that started with a contingent from Tobago heading across to the Spice Mass activities and the carnival that took place earlier in this year, and then now transitioning into this latter period now where they are expected to send a contingent here. So we look forward to those updates.
All right, now not wanting to rile you here, but I see that there is a social media post that has been circulating, and it says, due to gas prices, next Fast and Furious movie will be about bicycles, just as you were on that topic a little while ago. So I'm going to keep you calm, I'm going to keep you calm.
Yeah, and I don't want people to misunderstand it at all. I'm just simply saying, if we are facing tough times, then let us all face it together.
Yes.
Let us all face those tough times together. And it not be a case where I am beginning to feel that we are, we almost heading in a direction to resemble that our Caribbean counterpart, that economy in Jamaica, where the divide has just become much more, and it's either you're poor or you're rich. There is no middle class, there is no average citizen within the operative because of what has happened over time. So I'm just saying, let it be spread in a similar manner so that we can face these challenging times together in terms of moving forward across the board. So we're heading on into our birthday celebrations. Birthdays that would have been happening from over the weekend into today, birthday celebrations. We get started. And in times like these, I have to use the words of our youth hosts, Dwayne and Luke now. Certainly, we want to recognize the lovely Lavia and Ashby Cupid. No, but this dress is beautiful. Beautiful indeed. Lavia and Ashby Cupid, we want to wish you a happy birthday. All right, and we trust that you enjoy the celebrations. I know that Mr. Cupid got you covered. All right, on screen with us, we have JCN Andrews. JCN Andrews, wishing you a happy birthday and God's continued blessings.
All right. And then now we've got Damien Stewart, a.k.a. the Mighty Crush. Happy birthday going out to you there, Damien.
Yeah, and there was a part of the event that was very commendable, where it is, all his colleagues and though within the media industry came out on stage with him. You could have seen that he was taken away, really caught off guard. This is a man that's accustomed being on set, doing his thing as an excellent DJ, and then being called now to the front of the stage. Not something that he would prefer, but certainly that moment to really celebrate him, because Dream, the event ultimately that he has been hosting over the years, has surrounded and started as a celebration of his birthday, which was on Sunday. So kudos and happy birthday going out to you, Mighty Crush.
All right, and we've got Harmony Bruce. That's yes. Harmony.
Wishing you a happy,
Bruce. Happy
birthday.
birthday going out to you
Harmony
this morning.
Bruce, and Ria, this is my classmate out of that's my Scarborough Methodist years. All right, so wishing Harmony Bruce a happy birthday, Harmony. No stranger.
The one and only.
No stranger, the one and only. My very good friend out there, I know she's enjoying that birthday celebration. Wishing you a happy birthday. Elizabeth Williams, we want to wish you a happy birthday coming from the Tobago Updates family.
All right, and this is Darius Boris, who celebrated his birthday yesterday. So Darius, love going out to you this morning from the Tobago Updates family.
And we have on screen with us, wishing you a happy birthday, Odette Joseph. Odette Joseph, we trust that you enjoy your birthday celebrations. All right, and we're sending a happy birthday to each and every one. All those persons are celebrating today as their special day. We trust that you have an enjoyable celebration, whether you're here in Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago, the region, or the world at large. Do enjoy the birthday celebrations. Happy birthday to each and every one of you.
All right, Julian, so we're heading on over to...
Yes, at this point, viewers, we want to thank you so much for the continued love and support. Those of you joining us via TV, Gael, M&E TV, those listeners via Smash Radio and Street 91.9 FM, and those of you connecting with us online, this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Morning.
Never ever worry, don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry if your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil will always be here for you.
Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
You're moving your ways.
Entertainment. Yes, we're bringing it to you. Tobago Updates. It's all about the new entertainment show, the VIP Experience, hosted by your boy Snoopy. Tune in every Wednesday from 8 p.m. and on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. We're bringing to you the best Tobago has to offer. We're showcasing interviews, music, and everything that is fun. So join me on Tobago Updates for the VIP Experience. Yeah, man.
Watch on your back on me. Like about to overload. Watch them sexy Tobago woman. Beauty from head to toes in the sun. Skin tone don't need no lotion.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back this morning to the Tobago Updates morning show. We are chatting this morning with Caroline Birch, with James, the Vice President of the Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association or Agency. And this morning our focus is on the budget 2023, Tobago's tourism sector. Good morning and welcome to Mrs. James.
Good morning, and it's always a pleasure to have me here.
All right, now
and
we
to
haven't
be
had
here.
a chance to chat with you since the budget. Let's get your thoughts on the recent budget presentation.
Well, Well, I think for Tobagonians, it's a double whammy because you have the increase in fuel prices and you also have the increase on that highway to Trinidad, which is our airfare, and our sea bridge, our traveling by sea. And I am not sure whether this government is really on the ground to listen to what the people have to say. Because everything is going up, and when you do this, you make it doubly hard for the people of Trinidad and triply hard for the people of Tobago. I think about people who have children. They have to feed their children. This morning I'm coming up, there's a lot of children in the world waiting for the bus. The buses are already there, the school buses. And I think these children have to have a full breakfast because this is 6:30 and they're going until 12. That means you have to have plenty baked fish, proper tea, and whatever it is inside here. And if you have 4 or 5 children, that's a problem. So, and not only am I not sure if they're on the ground, but when you do this, the effects, and you're not listening to your PR people, because to come and talk about right to work, using coal pot, which is dirty energy, it's not clean energy. Coal and so on is a no-no in this world when they talk about this modern world. And all these things that are not realistic. What about the people who live in apartments? The HDC apartments. Not so much Tobago, people have the little ground and whatever it is. But still they don't have access to coals, to old wood and all of that. So I am wondering if they really thought about the effects that this is going to have. I read this morning Dr. Farrell talking about that subsidy for fuel. And he's talking in a vacuum. I read the whole thing. And talking about a long time ago, they should do away with the subsidy. And what is Dr. Farrell thinking about the ordinary man on the street? He can afford it. His wife has a big PR firm and he can afford it. But what happens to the man on the street? You got to be careful what you're writing. And don't leave it for just your experience alone, because there are other people who are going to be suffering as well. So I don't know. Let's see how it works out.
I hear you loud and clear. I hear you loud and clear on that. And even as you mentioned here, the increase in the air fares and the ferry. How do you see that affecting even Tobago's tourism?
Well, I would say that that's way to be seen. Now remember that with the airfare, besides raising it at and now $200 one way, so that's $400.
Right.
You also have a $50 penalty.
Right.
Okay. So for us to be going until the doctor, secretary ring and say he can't say about you tomorrow, you have to pay another that $50 for next week to change and whatever it is. So we are talking about an extra hidden 100 that is there. We're not sure as yet. We have to wait and see how this is going to affect people, because remember, a holiday is not a necessity. You understand? It is a luxury when you look at the world in total.
Right.
It's a luxury. And also, coming up to Tobago, it's pretty reasonable, was pretty reasonable. And the older people, remember, a lot of older people, they are coming with their families. They don't come alone. They are coming with their families. While they don't pay the fare, or never used to pay the fare.
That's right, never used to.
They are coming with a contingent of 10, 12. Everybody with a hotel, guest house will tell you that. They're coming with all the little grandchildren and whatever it is. And that's it. So she and he, they are coming with people.
Right.
Now, whether that $50 now they have to pay for grandpa and granny, so that's a $200 more. Whether that will affect them, that's a wait and see. It's still pretty reasonable, but people are suffering out there. The grocery figures are going up every day, and it is just difficult for everybody. And I think about people who have children, they have to carry children to school and all of that. How are they managing? And you have to pay this electricity bill. And bear in mind, they are talking about property tax.
Yes.
All my hoteliers, they just watch it because they're not even scared. They just don't know what to do. Remember, we have property tax coming up, and we're also talking about increase in electricity and water.
And how are they managing? How are they managing? Because it is now October, early October, of course, we're all looking forward to some, the carnival season, well, carnival at the end of the month, and persons visiting the island, coming from abroad, coming from Trinidad, the Caribbean. But how are they managing now?
Well, it has been very difficult. July and August was not all that bad. So they have been able to pay some of their bills. The problem is that reserve capacity. That is the problem there for especially the big hotels, because they were charging it for every cycle and you didn't have guests. Remember, they were closed. We asked the state, we asked the government to do something about it, maybe eliminate that reserve capacity for the 2 years that the hotels were closed, but they did not do it. So you have a bill here. You have TNTech 2 weeks ago going to all the major hotels to cut off the electricity, and nobody seems to, they don't seem to understand that there is a real problem here. So we asked for that, we did not get it. So we somehow we are a very resilient bunch and we are managing, but it is very difficult. But that electricity is going to make and break people. That reserve capacity. We are not talking about the electricity that we use. We are talking about electricity that is there to use, but is not used. So they charge you for it and they call it reserve capacity. And for some of the big hotels, it starts at 30,000 and up. So can you imagine you have nobody in your hotel and you plug out everything is off, and you still have a 30,000 plus bill to pay? Yeah. So it is difficult, and it's important for me to explain it to people because they feel it's the electricity bill and you don't want to pay it. Yes.
All right. Now, Mrs. James, I know that you would be in talks with members of the association, but even as we move forward looking at Tobago's tourism, we have Carnival coming up. What are the numbers looking like so far? We're just about 3 weeks or so, because we're still pretty early. We're looking at 3 weeks or so to Carnival 2022 in Tobago. What are the numbers looking like at the hotels, the guest houses? What are you hearing?
Well, the numbers seem to be pretty good. But today we are going to be sending out to our members for those who are not full. So when I do interviews like these, I could tell you, ring our association, and you can, because people are now complaining that they have nowhere to stay. They cannot get places to stay. But the people who I've spoken to, they are all full, but everything is the numbers, everything is the data. When we send out that, we'll see who responds to our inquiry, and then we can help them. Because that's what we used to do with the jazz festival. 2-3 weeks before, months before, we would ask who is not full, we advertise it, and so on, and we fill up our rooms. So we are looking forward to the Tobago Carnival. It was a good idea. It was always a good idea when we started to formulate it about 10 years ago. It was always a good idea. But the time has come for us to implement this, and there's a big buzz. And we want to make sure, we all in Tobago, we want to make sure that this carnival comes off very well. Okay? So that people will want to come for our carnival next year and the years after. So this first year is important. We need to give a good impression. And we are the hoteliers, we are trying our best.
And in terms of the areas that are, I want to say, making the big bang, would it be the hotels and guest houses in the west? Would it be some of those, maybe 1 or 2 north side? Is the east getting anything, or is it too far?
Well, as I said, the data will show that, because we are talking to many people in the west.
Right.
And they're the ones who say they are full. Remember, a lot of the activities are being held down here. The Juve is being held in Crown Point. Okay? And then you have the mass in Scarborough, and I think they have something in Roxborough. I haven't looked at the itinerary fully yet. They have something in Roxborough. But you have all those boat rides, and I haven't seen any boat ride come out from the east. Boat rides are coming out of Pigeon Point and all of that. So they have a lot of boat rides, and they do have a lot of parties. Okay? But there's one in, I think, Argyle Waterfall. I saw it up there. That's the only one I saw in the east. But there are quite a few down here. Pigeon Point. We have 2 at Canoe Bay. And so on. So we hope that everybody is going to get a touch. And this is what we advocate for our type of tourism. This is the kind of tourism that we want for Tobago. That when you have an activity, when the hotels are full, Everybody can feel it, can taste it, can get the money. Okay? And that's the kind of all-inclusive that I think most people want for Tobago. You don't want your hotels full and nobody else, the fellas on the boat can't get any business. The lady selling the bread, the little pone, the doubles or whatever it is. The idea is everybody must taste the business. And I think that is going to happen.
All right, everybody must taste the business. In terms of our marketing for the Tobago Carnival, how would you say it has been in terms of bringing tourists back, bringing visitors back to the island?
Well, I think we got off to a slow start. And it doesn't have anything to do with time. It has to do with planning, and you have to know that you only had about 4 months, and you have to put yourself in a gear. That's how the world works. Okay? So we were very slow. So hope next year we'll learn and we'll be faster. But the biggest thing that I can see here is that airlift to Tobago. That airlift to Tobago. It has gone far and wide that we have this carnival that is coming. So people know. But the airlift, I think, is going to be the problem from Tobago to Trinidad. But the finance minister did say that we are going to have adequate airlift. That's what he said. We're going to have adequate airlift for the carnival. So it's to wait and see, because we do have a problem with Caribbean Airlines. You see, because first we no longer have the midnight flight, so Tobagonians are sleeping once more in the airport.
Right. So that ended when? I think
that ended during the pandemic.
Right.
And it was never brought back.
Right. But there is now a Tuesday and Thursday flight direct from JFK to.
No, it's only once a week.
Only one now?
Yeah, that is Wednesday night into Thursday morning.
Wednesday into Thursday.
Yes.
Right.
Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Right, so you have a JFK.
Right.
And I think we do have a Barbados flight. I'm not sure what date. I think it's Tuesday or something like that, which I understand is doing very well. Because many years we asked for this Barbados connection. Tobago is here and we are not connected to the outside world like the other islands. Okay, so you needed that Barbados connection, because if there's a place, say a plane that is going to Australia from Barbados, and you want to go to Australia, you can just jump on the plane, go to Barbados, and you go to wherever it is that their planes are taking you. So it's access for the island outside. You need to have outside access. You can only have access to Trinidad alone. You see, and that is the stranglehold that you have on Tobago. That's the kind of development that you want. So we need more airlift. We need more hotel rooms. We do have the Comfort Inn, the 70, how many rooms you said? The Comfort Inn, and we congratulate the people at the Comfort Inn. But we want more hotels like that. We want bigger ones, smaller ones, villas, and so on. And I want to say something here. We asked vigorously for the end to that land license, because we see it as a path for Tobago development. We understand, I'm a Tobagonian, and I understand how some of the Tobagonians feel. But at the same time, we have to be realistic. There are people, every July, August, hundreds of our people go. They go to university, they go to Trinidad to work, they go abroad, and they don't come back. Who is going to develop this island? Who Tobagonian family, how many of them going to give us that 2,000-3,000 hotel rooms that we need? We need big entities to come, big companies to come and give us that 400-room hotel, that 500-room hotel. We have to be realistic. And we have proposed to the state that where you want foreigners to buy must be non-traditional areas. So you have Mount Irving. Most of us don't live in Mount Irving.
No.
Right? Tobago plantations across there. We have Magdalena and so on. And those areas, so they don't come into villages where people fence around a path that everybody is using to get access to the house and all of those kind of things. So we can work this out. But we need a direct investment. We need people to come and retire here, to come and live here, spend the retirement money here. All of that is foreign exchange. So we have to think realistically. We have to think differently. And so our path to development, that's how we see it as business people. One of that is the land license.
All right. And very quickly here, the airport expansion project, your
Yes.
thoughts on what has been happening?
Well, we like the idea of having a new airport. It's good business. It's good business, as I said, for access to Tobago. But the way in which properties were acquired was not in the best interest of the people. Remember, Rhea, Tobagonians are not squatters. These people down there weren't squatters. They have papers for their land. Their paper may not be current because it's in your grandmother's name or your great-grandmother's name, but they have papers for their land. They can't afford to go lawyer and spend $100,000. They don't have that. So therefore, you have to give them value. You are moving them. It's compulsory acquisition. You can't fight that. You can't fight it. They try all. You can't fight it. You could fight the amount that you get, but you can't fight when they want to move you out. But you have to adequately compensate people. Okay? Our family down there, 3-bedroom house, lot of land, $500,000. What do you buy with that? What do you build with that? Unless it's a plyboard house. You can't. If you get the land, all right. They say the land is subsidized, so you're spending $300,000 instead of 5 or 6. What are you going to build with the 200? You're displacing these people. Okay? So that I think this is where it went awry. It went south in not adequately compensating people. And now you want to chase them out quickly. Okay? And as the ministers say, you're keeping back progress. She's only looking at it one way. But if you have your family, and all these families have grandparents, 14, 11, and so on, they have grandparents and all of that with them, and now you have to leave your home that you own and go into a rented place. Can you imagine that? I'm living in Bonaccord in my own home for 39 years. My last child was born in our own home. And you could imagine you moving me now, and I must go in somebody's rented place where the landlady coming to inspect and all of that. All of that is a psychological thing. So I think this is where it's a lesson for the state and for all of us when the state comes to acquire. You understand? We need to get lawyers ready. We need to get our valuations and see how we could do this private treaty. And so this is a lesson that we learn from all of us. But I think it's going to have long-lasting psychological effects. You know what people told me? Miss James, the whole village just taken away. And nobody has seen it fit to bring psychologists inside of Bonaccord in the back there, that Tobago local road, to talk to people and so on. Because people feel bereft, all their family gone, their friends gone, and so on. They need psychologists behind there.
In the name of development.
Well, nothing is wrong with development, but you have to know how to do it. Okay, you did not have houses for them to go into. Even if it's a little 2-bedroom house, people can sleep on mattress on the ground and whatever it is. At least you have accommodation for them. But where you have to go and rent, eat up your money and so on, that is where it was not done in the best interest.
We hear you loud and clear there.
Yes.
But thank you so much for chatting with us this morning, Caroline Booch with James.
Thank you.
And as we continue the discussion this morning on the budget 2023, getting the thoughts from the tourism sector, and later on in the program, getting the thoughts from the business perspective. So lots more coming up on the program this morning. Viewers, continue to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes for breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti served with chokers, bull joil and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Mamai Lakai Home Services. We specialize in cleaning of carpets and rugs, mattresses, living room and dining room sets, vehicle detailing, cleaning and sanitizing of homes and commercial spaces. We also do landscaping and tree cutting, pressure and power washing, floor care, fumigating and air purifying. You can also call us for professional painting services, babysitting and adult sitting. Call us now 333-4430 at Mamai Lakai Home Services. We take cleaning to another level. The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place, with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. It is 7:39 a.m. this morning, and as we return, just before we head on into this segment, we've got a quick announcement happening here for you, and this is a public service announcement coming out. This is from the Williams Family Group, and they are giving a gentle reminder, and this is before we go to the one with the Williams Family Group, we're going to deal with the first public notice of the closure of all libraries today, Monday the 3rd of October 2022. The public is advised that all libraries in Tobago library services will be closed on Monday the 3rd of October, which is today. This closure has become necessary to allow staff to attend the funeral service of Miss Heather Gray, former Librarian 4, Acting Librarian 4, and head of the Tobago Library Service. Normal hours of operation will resume on Tuesday, the 4th of October 2022. And at this point, we also take the opportunity to send condolences out coming from the Tobago Updates family to the family of Miss Gray. All right.
Let me just add here that she hails from Louisdor, Tobago, a pleasant woman. If you've ever had to deal with her at the library, any of the libraries throughout Tobago, pleasant individual, always went the extra mile to assist you with whatever you were looking for, asking about. So it was really sad, but again we extend condolences to the family and friends.
Yes, indeed. And then we also are sending out, highlighting this morning the Williams Family Group located in Mount Pleasant. And for those persons who are not aware, in the Mount Pleasant area, they are giving a gentle reminder that unfortunately over the weekend, coming from the gym facility, there was a 10-pound plate that would have been stolen from the gym, and they are kindly giving an opportunity. This is Tobago for you 100%. They are giving an opportunity for the individual, if you are aware of the person, etc., the person is tuned in, to return it before they go to the Chauvin police station with the camera footage. All right, they have the footage clearly identifying the person responsible, but in the true spirit of Tobago, the Williams Family Group located there in 118 Mount Pleasant, they are giving the opportunity to the individual to return it before they have to get the police involved. All right, and we have two quick birthday celebrations that we want to just bring up on screen this morning. And this is a birthday shout out going out to my cousin there, Kezzy O'Connor. Kezzy O'Connor, wishing you a happy birthday. I know those celebrations got off over the weekend. Wishing you a happy birthday coming from the entire family. Yes, and then I head straight on into my church family here, Auntie Annette Alfred. All right, Auntie Annette Alfred, most of you, some know her in the cultural fraternity, cultural icon indeed. We want to wish you a happy birthday and God's continued blessings, Auntie Annette.
Happy birthday going out to you, Auntie Annette. Definitely. I think she's Auntie Annette to,
Yes, to
to
many,
all of
many.
Tobago.
Far and wide.
She's,
All
you know,
right?
I don't think she's ever referred to as Mrs. Alfred.
I know.
She's
I know.
Auntie Annette.
Yeah, yeah. Most of those titles people put aside because there's that family connection.
That's right.
All right. Coming up in this segment, viewers, we have Brandon Gray is online with us, a branch manager at Tatil Tobago. Good morning to you, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. And let me take the opportunity to wish Auntie Annette happy birthday.
Yes.
Also, very good friend of mine, very wonderful person who has personal, and she has done yeoman service for Tobago.
Definitely.
And I'm here in Nassau, joining you from Nassau, the Bahamas. And I want to say I'm having a wonderful time with my family and friends here for a bit.
That's
All
right.
right.
Enjoy.
Excellent.
We
Thank
trust
you
that
for
you
taking
enjoy.
the time out. Now, in recent times, Tatil in particular has a very trendy advertisement that says to us, never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. What is the perspective now as we speak to budget 2023? No direct connection to Tatil, though, but we're speaking in the
Not at
context
all.
of the
Not
business
at all.
sector.
We had nothing to do with this budget the development. But let me, before I get into that, I want to say thank you to my staff, Bernice and the branch secretary, and Rose, my supervisor, and my son BJ Jr. for handling the operations whilst I'm out, and they are getting into the business sector. Basically, I think that Diane Haddad, I did mention what the business community felt about the budget, if you recall. And I listened to Dr. James a few days ago on one of another station, indicating what he thought the budget, the implications it meant for Tobago. And that's what we are talking about. What are the implications for the budget that was read by the minister, and how it impact on Tobago really, its impact on Tobago. And I think what we need to do is dissect ourselves away from that. It has not changed, no matter which government has been in place, whether it is Kamala, whether it is Dr. Keith, or Pandy. The same thing has occurred across the board. So we need to determine from ourselves how we are going to build based on what is and my thing starts with the autonomy. We need to get that in place. That is going to allow us to free up ourselves in terms of development in Tobago, so that we can grow in terms of our future generation to come. The autonomy is the basic ingredient that will build Tobago. I'm here in the Nassau right now. In 1968 when I came to work for the government. And it was no different than what Tobago is now. No different at that time. But I'm here now, and if you see the development over the last 53 years that has taken place, you'll understand. Development takes a long time, but yet you have to have a focus, you have to have a plan to the development of any island. I like the idea that the chief secretary is building on, because that is what the Bahamas did. The idea for the Bahamas, it is better in the Bahamas. That was the idea. What the chief secretary has said is this is going to be the greatest little island on the planet. That's an idea. And if we could follow through on that idea with planning, putting the various plans in place so that we can really develop the island to be the best, the greatest little island in the world, we then can succeed. Starting with, according to Dr. James, the development bank. That is going to bring funds into the island so that we can build out our creative spirit, the creative being and the creative attitude of our people, because that is what is needed. Is the creative nature of our people that really builds a country or builds an island, and that is where I think we need to be focused on. Focus on those kind of developmental ideas, and create the avenues for growth in Tobago. And let's not worry about the hand me down from Trinidad. We got to deal this ourselves. That's my basic outline. I think we need to go.
All right, now, Mr. Gray, I trust that you are enjoying your time in the Bahamas and that you're kicking back a little bit and putting your feet up and able to relax just a little bit. You know, in the midst of it all, we see the increase as well in the air bridge and in the on the sea bridge. Give us your thoughts on the impact that this increase can have on the business community in Tobago.
I listened to your previous guest, Mrs. James, and I think she put it on really on the wrap. It is going to have some impact, but once we again use our initiatives, initiative is what is going to deal with all of these issues. Yes, there will be consideration in terms of cost, because we in Tobago we always have a cost differential with Trinidad because of those factors. But we still have to, based on our own, as I go back to say, our own initiative, to build on what is happening. We will attract people. We will have to. It is going to impact on everybody, and let's not face it. We are going to have an impact. It's going to have an impact on us. Cost is always going to be a driving factor. What the chief sec need to do, or what we need to do, is demand more direct flights to Tobago rather than going through Port of Spain. So we have one coming in on, I think it's Wednesday to Thursday morning. We have one from Barbados. We need to increase that to have more direct flights. But to do that, according to Mrs. James, we need to build up our room stock. We need to deal with the Landholding Act. We need to deal with the town country issue, because we need to have our own town country so that we can zone our island in terms of where the engine of the island can be. So those are things that we need to run. So that I'm going back into the fact that we are going to need our autonomy. But besides that, I want to say, we speak about autonomy. What does it really mean to the Tobagonian? What does that mean to the average citizen of Trinidad and Tobago? Is it something that is going to be a cost factor? Because Trinidadians will see it as a cost. You are talking autonomy. You want to separate yourself from me. But it's not that. So we have to educate our people in terms of what autonomy really means. How does it impact on me, the individual? How does it impact on both the country? How does it impact on the individual? How does it impact on the community? And how does it impact on the country? We need to explain that out and educate our people so that we can understand what it means and why is it important that Tobago should be given their right to build and develop the island.
Mr. Gray, do you see or rather, tell me the role you see the business sector playing in terms of really driving and moving the economy in the Tobago space, obviously with some level of support from the Tobago House of Assembly and central government, in moving in a more positive direction where we seek to develop other sectors in the Tobago space that can really help to contribute and generate income? What role do you see the business sector play?
Well, first of all, as I indicated earlier, creativity must be a factor. Our business community needs to start to think creativity. It must not be buy and sell. And I think what I'm seeing happening at TADCO, I think it is, that is TADCO, they're starting to deal with certain innovative growth and development. So we need to start with that. How do we develop the natural habitat Tobago has? How do we develop it? How do we make it something that we can trade? So that is where we need to deal. And also, even the THA, in my view, some of their services that they provide can be turned into business operations, sell it or lease it or something like that. For instance, you have the agriculture, what do you call it?
As you say,
The,
ma'am,
where they,
Tadco or Kendall.
the agriculture where you have these tractors going out
Or
and
tractor
doing
pool.
tractor pool. You have tractor pool can be easily become a business. So it can expand and give a service to the agricultural sector from a business perspective. That's one area. There are others, you know. So I'm saying we need to drive business. We must not be on the fail of buy from Trinidad or buy from the States and sell. It must be, let's see what we can use our indigenous activities or indigenous things there. For instance, look what you have, the cassava program or the breadfruit program, or those are activities. Then you have the creative part in Nassau, for instance. I've been a golf club here to play golf, but on my way, I see 300 students practicing on Saturday, what you call it, swinging the bat, or what do you call it, not, they have it in the United States.
Baseball.
Because baseball, they are seeing baseball as an end product. So baseball, we need to see it as an end product. So our creativity must be part of this growth factors. So the business community must become more creative in terms of our indigenous things, to build on that and sell it and trade it. And that way we can become more efficient and less dependent on photo space.
And does this then mean, Mr. Gray, we have to take the hard decision in terms of really moving our Tobago economy and this space away from being predominantly driven by public sector employment, which therefore means ultimately a number of our businesses in the Tobago space also rely very heavily in terms of their income source coming from the same public sector, by and large, whether directly or indirectly, through employees within the Tobago space? That's one of the first kind of tough decisions we're going to have to make.
It is a tough decision. It is a tough decision because we need to, you see, we grew up in an era when our parents told us, go to school, learn, and go and find a government job. That was what we are growing. We need to change that. We need to change the young people, not now, and not what is happening now, but in the future. We need to keep advocating this self and this business. We need to do that more in our schools. We need to educate our population in terms of being a business entrepreneur mean you can determine your own income. Being in business, that's what you're doing. You're in this business, and I'm proud of what you're doing, because you're also in that field of developing a business environment where you with Tobago update. And I'm proud of this, and that is what we need to do. We need to start to loosen the neck of the students that's coming. Look, business is what it is. Not go and find a job in the government, and we can build the island, because that is where Tobago, the government will get taxes, because business will drive tax through the economy. And also, when you have more, according to Mrs. James, more hotel rooms, hotel taxes will build, and you'll get more taxes through that again. And so we grow from that perspective.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much there, Mr. Brandon Gray, for taking the time out to connect with us here this morning at the Tobago Updates to give your perspective in terms of the budget 2023. All right, viewers, this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
You're never gonna cramp my style.
Excel Spa by Haley, where our highly trained staff are ready to deliver the top-class services in facial massages, waxing, nail enhancement and body treatment. We are ideally located at Coco Avenue, Switzerland, Tobago. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TripAdvisor, or you can call us on 730-0149. Excel Spa by Haley. Relax, renew, and rejuvenate.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. In this segment, we have on with us Kelvin Jacob, and the CEO of Spice Mask, connecting with us out there in Grenada. Good morning.
Good morning, Julian, and how are you this morning?
Fine, thank you. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Good morning to all your viewers.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ria.
Good morning to you. Good morning.
All right, so as we get the conversation started this morning, Spice Mask contingent coming to Tobago. So give us an idea of the numbers, the period of time you all will be proposing to spend here later on this month in October.
So we are coming with a 13-member delegation, including one member from the Board of Tourism. And we will be there with you for the duration of your carnival. So we are arriving around midday on the 28th of October, and then we depart on the morning of the 1st of November.
All right. Kevin, I'm particularly interested. Where are you talking to us from? What part of Grenada are you?
I am in St. David right now.
All right. And what is the weather like today?
It's a little bit warm right now. It's sunny and warm outside. Yes,
all right,
we had a little bit of thunder and lightning earlier on this morning, but it's nice weather right now.
I tell you, from thunder and lightning to sunny and warm. Okay. All right, only in the Caribbean. Now, let me ask you here. You know, we talk about this exchange between Grenada, Tobago, Grenada. What are you hoping to experience in Tobago that you've not experienced in Grenada? Our carnivals may be similar, but yet very different. But what are you looking forward to coming to Tobago?
Tobago having its first inaugural carnival, I'm looking forward to see how they will really execute that. I'm looking to see what aspects of their culture they will be putting out there for the world to see. And we are also looking forward to how they would treat with the people that are actually coming to Tobago as visitors for the first carnival.
All right. Are you hoping to learn from us, or what are the thoughts?
Well, of course, learning is always good to learn new things. I'm sure there are things that we are going to learn from Tobago. I'm sure there were things that they learned from us when they came here, and it's all about an exchange, as we say. Culture is meant to share, and we are open to learn their culture, learn your culture, and also to share our culture with you.
Okay, how to make a good oil dung? I think you will be able to teach us, and maybe we can teach you how to do a good crab and dumpling.
That's right. That's right. we have the recipe for the oil dung.
Tell us, Kelvin, based on the recently concluded Spice Mask, and what many throughout the region have been defining as the return, to the road, the return to the space. How would you define the success this time around in 2022, given the gap there that took place due to COVID?
I think the success, we had a great success. Our carnival this year, it was dubbed the return is celebration of life. And a lot of people have to understand that the focus was celebrating life, because coming out of COVID, not having carnival for 2 years, we lost many members. We lost family members, and most so we lost practitioners in carnival. So this carnival was mainly about celebrating the life of people, being happy to actually be on the road again, to have carnival once more. And we achieved that. People came out there and they had success. They enjoyed themselves. Financially, we did well. We also did well. So there were a few glitches, as in any other carnivals, but given the objective of this carnival to just put carnival out there again and for everyone to come out and have a good time, I think that was a success.
Right.
Given what is definitely the closeness in terms of geographically of our two islands, there has been mention by our chief secretary, and I know as well you have a new PM in Grenada. Do you see there being some synergy beyond just the carnival periods, which is Spice Mass and Tobago Carnival, recreating or making that connection with Grenada and Tobago? We have heard talks in relation to sailings and so on that will facilitate direct connections between the islands. I suppose persons having the opportunity come vacation in Grenada and persons having the opportunity similarly to vacation in Tobago. What are your thoughts on that aspect?
I'm very excited about that, and I believe that's something that could be achieved. If we look way back when, we know that Grenada and Tobago had relations way back in terms of the federation. When we look at the history between Grenada and Tobago, in terms of that federation, we always had relations there, and I think it's a good opportunity now to reestablish these relations, especially through culture. Okay, culture brings a lot of people together, and I think there is no better way than to start the relationship with this cultural exchange.
All right. Now we're really happy to hear. Now, is it that your contingent will be coming as a band? Are you hoping to play in one of the bands? And if so, which band? I mean, I'm sure you've checked out some of the bands already. You've taken a peep. So what would you be doing?
Actually, we have checked out your bands, but we are not going to be playing with any bands. We are bringing our practitioners to you, so we are going to be putting our practitioners out there for you to see. So we are coming with our Jab Jab Masquerade. We are coming with our Veco Masquerade, and you're going to learn more about them as we go through the various interviews when we get there. And we are also coming with our Veco Masquerade. So we are focusing our traditional masquerade in Tobago. So they will be coming in their costumes to showcase what Grenada's culture is all about when it comes to the traditional aspect of our mask. Because we know carnival is global, but each carnival is still unique. And what makes us unique is the traditional aspect of our carnival. And this is what we want to push going forward, the traditional aspect. Because at the end of the day, everyone is going to go and they will see the bikini, the beads, and the feathers, which look similar throughout every carnival that you go. But what is going to make every carnival stand out is the traditional aspect. And this is what we want to share with Tobago. And we are hoping that we are going to see some of these traditional masks from Tobago being displayed as well. So we also want to put that out there so that Tobagonians can come to Grenada for Spice Mass 2023 during the period of the 1st to the 23rd of August, the 1st to the 15th of August, sorry, where they can come and not just be spectators, but also be participators in our carnival. Get into a costume, get into a jab jab costume, get into a vehicle costume, a shortening costume, a wild Indian costume. Because the relationship is there, and not just for Tobagonians, but we want to put that outside there also for the people in the diaspora, the Grenadians who are living in the diaspora, who want to come back home and play carnival, who want to relive their childhood days, who want to relive the days that they had in their communities. Because these traditional masks, they come from various communities in Grenada. And you can also bring your children and share that experience with them so they can actually see how you grew up. Because carnival started traditionally. What we see today as carnival with the glitter and the feathers and all of that, that was not the way carnival started. We all know where carnival started. So we want to bring that aspect again back out there for the world to see. So when we get there, the question was when we get there, we are going to invite you to join us. You may not be able to join us in putting on a vehicle costume or a shortening costume because it takes time to build that costume. But jab is a very easy thing. You just get black and you put on something red and you jump in the band with us. Come with a conch shell, come with your drums. You know, to beginners, you have your drum and jump in the band with us.
As CEO of Spice Mass, would you say that it is almost virtually automatic that by the time one carnival has ended, you begin planning immediately in the Grenada space as you prepare to launch into the next year?
Absolutely. We have already started. That's why I could announce the date being the 1st to the 15th of August next year. So we are ready. We have started out with our evaluation as the first thing we did. We started our evaluation of this year and we are looking to build. Okay, we are looking to build on that and we are starting our advertisement. And Tobago, coming to Tobago, is actually part of our promotion for Spice Mass 2023.
Right. So is it that there are plans in terms of connecting and promoting with some of the other islands as well? In terms of welcoming persons to Grenada?
Yes, the cultural exchange was extended to the islands of the Caribbean. So we had St. Vincent took part already. We went to St. Vincent, and St. Vincent was here for Spice Mass. We also went to St. Lucia, and the same thing happened. So we are looking to expand. That is the first time we tried it, and we are looking to expand it. And we are also encouraging other islands to look at that, because while we are competing, we have to look at the synergy, okay? Because culture, as we say, it should be shared.
Most definitely, and I have to let you know here that I am part Grenadian. My mother was born, bred Grenadian. Unfortunately, she passed away earlier this year. But my roots are still in Grenada, St. George's, Grenada, Grandance, Jean Anglais. So we're certainly looking forward to connecting with you. Maybe I might find a cousin or two within your contingent coming over to Tobago.
You might just find that, yes.
But we may connect with you at the hotel, not on the streets, enjoying the festivities.
Also, Ria, you're not going to get involved in the jab. I was going to bring a jab helmet for you.
We cannot all do it. Julian will be jumping with you, getting all black and stuff, jumping in the band with you. I will be the one connecting with you at the hotel, okay?
All right, great.
All right. Thank you so much, Kelvin Jacob, for joining us here on set, CEO of Spice Mass, and we look forward, he and the entire contingent will be across here for the Tobago Carnival, that final weekend in October.
Yeah.
And what was interesting to me, Ria, is the connection being made where it is they are spreading this opportunity, and they've had contingents from St. Vincent come across, so they connect with St. Vincent, and I think he mentioned St. Lucia as well, in terms of connecting with those contingents. So you have varying groupings coming in to enjoy your carnival and to participate in. By the time you have looked at it collectively as the region, the support can really work in your favor in terms of the promotion that happens over time.
Really nice indeed, Julian. And maybe it's an idea for us as well, and for other Caribbean islands, for when they've got theirs, that we we go, we taste and see. I don't want to say that the Lord is good, but taste and see what Carnival has to offer in some of the other Caribbean countries. All right, definitely. All right, so it's a great opportunity, excellent initiative, and for other countries, other islands to visit us as well, to see what Tobago Carnival will have to offer for 2022. All right, and yes, rightly so. Julian will be connecting. I know Julian is looking forward to being covered in mud or black oil. Looking forward indeed to Carnival 2022. I'm looking forward to it as well, as I would be at camp. but it works. It all works. And the good thing is that we're putting ourselves out there once again.
Yes,
once again.
Really. Yes. Viewers, thank you very much for connecting with us here at the Tobago Updates morning show. We want to thank you so much for the continued love and support, all the viewers and listeners. And remember to stay tuned. We're ending up here for the Tobago Updates morning show, but we head straight on over to GMT with Candice.
All right, so bye-bye, Tobago.
Don't want nobody touch my hair, cause a lot of sisters acting too crazy. And them not tough like this, rough like this, and them not nice like this.
Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry if your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil will always be here for you.
Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power. We are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers. We are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one.
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region, with the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine. I am Candace Jackson, and let's get started with the news in 90 seconds. One man is charged with the murder of his cousin and will appear before the Scarborough Magistrate Court today. According to police reports, the Director of Public Prosecutions advised that 54-year-old Kurt James faced charges for the murder of Matthew Kenrick James. The incident occurred on Saturday, 24th September 2022 at Storby Local Road. The police report stated when they arrived at the scene of a wounding, they encountered James. James claimed a relative approached him as he was heading towards his backyard garden and warned him not to enter while brandishing a cutlass and a hoe. An altercation ensued during which the male relative was chopped several times. The victim died at the scene. Meanwhile, political leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, Watson Duke, slammed the national budget presentation as evil. According to Duke, the increase in fuel prices are an attempt by the PNM government to prevent poor people from being able to eat. He explained that food prices in the country are already high after rising several times in recent years, and the higher fuel prices will drive up food prices even more. Duke believes the budget is just another way to oppress the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And nationally, Oropouche West MP Devendranath Tanku has challenged government MP Keith Scotland to ride his bicycle to Parliament today. Tanku took the Port of Spain South MP to task for out-of-touch comments made during his contribution to the debate on the 2023 budget. Scotland suggested that riding a bicycle and using a coal pot for cooking would help citizens manage higher fuel costs. Tanku said, quote, "This is how the PNM government views citizens. While they give their friends, family, and financiers billions of taxpayers' dollars, the PNM's recommendations to citizens is to go back to coal pot and bicycle," end quote. And that was the news in 90 seconds. And of course, you see, the conversation is getting heated as the budget debate continues. And yes, the budget debate is going to continue today. So if you want to be hearing a lot more about what's been happening in our country, and even just some more details as to how many of the measures that were mentioned by Finance Minister Colm in, but how that's going to be affecting our lives, you sure want to tune in today. I mean, on the Parliament channel, and you know, just follow along to hear from our ministers and our MPs as to what they have to say about the national budget. We've already had a lot of comments coming in over the weekend, and because we had some more of the debate happening on Saturday. And yes, it's going to continue again from 10 o'clock this morning and, you know, throughout the rest of the week. So we have a lot to take in, a lot to digest, and of course a lot to discuss. But we're leaving that for now, and then we're heading into some of our conversations this morning. And first up with me is none other than Sergeant Joseph Jordan of the TTPS. So a special good morning and welcome to you, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning to you, good morning to Tobago, good morning to your viewing and listening audience. Thanks for having us again. I'm doing well. Doing well.
So, I mean, before we get into some of the discussions today, I just want to know, like, what you can tell me about the updates on what's been happening in terms of some of the work that the police has been doing and some of the success, I guess you could say, in solving, you know, some of the major crime.
All right. Well, the Tobago Division at this point in time, when we compare our figures 2021 to 2022 with our serious report crimes, we have a 554. We had 554 SRCs last year. This year we have 518. So therefore we are seeing a reduction in serious report crimes. Housebreaking is also down. That has reduced significantly. However, we know we'd have had the recent murders, right?
Yes.
And that seemed to push things in a certain directive. However, what that actually did, last year, for the entire year, we had 7 murders. This year, thus far, we are on 7, and we hope that we don't have any more, because one murder is too much, right? So we are, at this stage, our detection rate stands at 43%. So we are on the right track in solving some of these crimes. As you would have indicated earlier, the last murder which took place on the 24th, that was solved because it was a land domestic issue.
Yes.
So that has been rectified, and the person will be appearing before the court this morning. The other 2 murders, they are at a sensitive nature at this point in time, and shortly information will be coming. We advise, or we ask that the public communicate with the police. If you have information, you can share with 555, 800 tips, call the various stations and share information, because this is how we get information, by sharing, and this is what we're going to do to ensure that we solve our crimes in Tobago and ensure that our detection rate increase, and also what we're looking for is to prevent crime.
Is there any specific information that you guys are looking for right now in terms of solving some of these murders?
All right, basically what you want is just information to sometimes zero in or confirm what is being bantered in the public. So sometimes a witness, a lot of people have challenges with that, but information can be shared very confidentially through as I mentioned, the 800 tips and the 555. So we advise person to communicate with that, or you can communicate if some of us have trusted police friends or persons in authority. They can pass that information through them, and it will get to us, so that we will be able to solve crimes generally in Trinidad and Tobago.
And now this leads into another thing, another initiative from the police in terms of improving the way how the police works within our society, and that is of community policing.
Yes.
And I know you have some updates for me where that's concerned. So,
well, as it relates to community policing, it has been a philosophy that is part of our organization for many, many years, and we continue to strive and develop it. Community policing is basically a relationship between the police and the community. As I often say, the community is the police and the police is the community, because we officers come from the community, right? So what a community produces is what a society is going to reap. So some of the programs that we have in place, so thus far we talk about our police youth clubs, all right? We have station councils meetings. We have a number of initiatives, such as we have like drafts, or we have a small group of officers who would go around, starting in the Crown Point area, doing drafts, so we to interact with members of the public. So the community policing section, or many of us know the community policing unit, they are still very active. They provide a number of support, especially like in schools. We have examples where persons, maybe students in particular, may be suspended. They would have little homework centers going, so that when you are on suspension, rather than be home unsupervised, you can be in a program aided by the police to ensure that you're on the right path.
I know yesterday the TTPS would have had its fun run and walk.
Yeah.
Could you just give me an idea of how did that go? And what was the outcome? Was it what you guys had hoped for?
Excellent. Right. On that, now the Trinidad Tobago Police Service, Tobago Division in particular, we are with the assistance of our social worker, Miss Carlette Matthew. She is assisting us in bringing police together, as well as forging that linkage between the community and the police. So we would have started off last Sunday, we would have had an all-force tournament.
Yes.
Right? And we moved now yesterday in particular, we would have had a fun run where we would have had invited other arms of the Ministry of National Security, as well as family friends, to join that run. That took place yesterday evening at 4 p.m. and it was quite successful. It was very exciting. People are looking forward to it, and that is going to lead us now to our Sport and Family Day, which is going to take place on Sunday the 9th of October, right, at the Dwight York Stadium. So that in itself is one of the bases of community partnership, which we're going to touch on in a short time.
So, I'm seeing you giving people little bites and little pieces of what it would be really like to have this bigger collaboration with the police, and just, to treat the police as one of us as well.
Right, and vice versa, and the police treat the public the same, because at the end of the day, police officers are not different from any other person. We are part of the society. If you cut us, we will bleed red like everybody else. We are not superhumans. However, we are given a task, and we are to provide a level of safety in our communities, and we try to do that task to the best of our ability without fear or favor. So it is all about bringing that relationship between the public and the police rather, and that in itself going to build trust and confidence in our organization, which we are striving to work towards. Because in our strategic plan 2022 to 2024, that speaks of community partnership, and that, as I said, is something that has always been on the cards, and that is what we are going to use to build and develop our officers, as well as foster the relationship that is going to help in the prevention of crime. And even if a crime is committed, it would now be solved because we have the ear and the eyes of the public to assist us.
Now, I mean, have you been able to see any success so far from these community initiatives?
Right. So some of the initiatives that we have actually, so we have like station council. That is where in each station we have officers forming a group or a committee with members of that community or village. So basically, we invite persons to join that group, and within that group, some of the social issues that may exist within that community, it may be addressed, and we may, working together, we'll be able to come about with a solution that is going to prevent. So that is one. We have the police youth clubs, right? So we have a number of vibrant youth clubs in Tobago. We have the Roxbury, Mason, all Goodwood. We have a number of them in Canaan, Bonaccord. So those programs aim to reach the young persons rather than they are being allowed to go unsupervised and go in the inappropriate or wrong direction. So we have that. We have the program that we are working on, which we spoke about some time ago, the GRACE program.
Right. I was just about to ask you, where's the update on implementing that?
So on the gang reduction and empowerment program. So that is currently being streamlined. We have trained a number of officers, and we continue to do that. And that program is quite efficient thus far. The results, we would see the results shortly, because basically what that program aims to do is to determine what is the cause of crime and how we can prevent it. And that is through community partnership. Right? Once we can foster that relationship, we will be able to get the information, provide solution, because community partnership and community policing is basically working hand in hand. So we discuss matters. So it's not a one-way channel, but rather a two-way channel, so that you can bring a solution. The public can bring a solution to the police, and we can look at it and say, all right, we can work with it. And also, the police can go to the community and say, well, what about this idea? This is what we would like to do. How can you assist? So all we speak about here is partnership, partnering with the community to ensure that we bring a safer Trinidad and Tobago.
We know that even though some of those gun violence and gun crimes are spilling over into Tobago, unfortunately, it's a little bit different in terms of, how it is within our space. What can you tell us about the differences of culture where gun violence is concerned in Tobago as opposed to in Trinidad?
All right. Tobago, thank God, and we will try to keep it that way. We don't have that spillage or that amount of violence that takes place in Trinidad. However, it is Trinidad and Tobago, and from time to time we have our bouts of gang-related crimes. So what we often do in Tobago, we try to reach to these young persons. We try to encourage that crime is not the way. We also look at our patrols. We pay attention to our ports, because many of the times illegal or sometimes some of these firearms may enter our island through the ports, the regular ports of entry, as well as the unauthorized ports. So persons traverse between these two islands quite often, and it also allows for an opportunity for a number of illicit items to come onto the island of Tobago. So we encourage persons to, as I said, communicate with us. We are on our side. We are stepping up. Continue to step up our patrols, paying a particular attention to our coastal areas. Some of the troubled areas on the island, we try as much as possible to ensure that patrols are present so that you can reduce the crime reduce crime happening, because many of the time gang related activities or sometimes some of these incidents that may occur maybe as a result of a fallout between a group of person, and because some of them have access to guns, they think that might be the way to solve a crime. So rather than even have a discussion or an argument, where our society is becoming more and more violent, and gun seem to be quite easily accessible, and that is the weapon of choice that most of the young people seem to be attracted to in resolving their shortcomings.
Now, we see the carnival is coming up, and we're expecting that influx of visitors to the island, but in that mix there might be some of those criminal elements from Trinidad. Are you guys preparing for that?
Yes.
And what measures are in place to ensure that those criminal elements do not come over and disrupt our proceedings?
We are prepared. We are preparing. We have put the necessary resources in place to deal with the influx of persons. Now, some of the strategies I would prefer not to disclose for obvious reason. However, we would step up our patrols. We would have a lot more officers on the ground. We will be paying particular attention to our ports. We are trying as much as possible to get information on the events that are taking place, because sometimes, depending on the type of events, you may have an idea of the group of persons that may be attracted to that event. So our intelligence are on the ground. We are working our streets. We are communicating with the relevant persons in authority to ensure that Tobago has a safe and a crime-free carnival, because it is unusual. We have had this in years gone by, but I believe the magnitude that we are expecting is of unprecedented nature, and we need to pay particular attention to our communities. Now, in addition to that, what we would ask is that persons step up their security measures. Ensure that you secure your homes. When you are going out, go out in groups. Have a designated driver if you intend to drink, because we will be out there doing our usual brutalize, and we don't want anybody to be begging the police. So do the correct thing, because it's the correct thing to do. So make yourself a hard target to the criminal elements. And those are some of the words of encouragement that we need to be aware of and that we are putting out there. The police are there to assist the public, and likewise the public is there to assist the police in ensuring that crime is reduced and information is shared in getting a positive result.
All right, but thank you so much, Sergeant Jordan, for being on with us. And we're continuing our conversations about the police and their work here in Tobago. And of course, we at Tobago Updates continue to support you guys.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for having us. And we look forward in having a very safe and productive carnival season. And I encourage the persons in Trinidad and Tobago, let us do the right thing so that we can have a safe and productive environment.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Viewers, don't go anywhere, because, of course, we've got a lot more coming up for you on the program. So stick with us, and we'll be back right after the break.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Excel Spa by Haley, where our highly trained staff are ready to deliver the top-class services in facial massages, waxing, nail enhancement, and body treatment. We are ideally located at Coco Avenue, Susaland, Tobago. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TripAdvisor, or you can call us on 730-0149. Excel Spa by Haley. Relax, renew, and rejuvenate.
Never ever worry, don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry, if your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil will always be here for you.
Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Yeah. Hey. Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and Denicia. Let's go.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago, of course, on Tobago Updates, the only place you should be on a morning. Now, we are getting into our conversation this morning about Tomac. You've been hearing about Burna Boy coming, but he is coming, of course, through Tomac, which is happening just in that week leading up to Carnival. I'm going to get us a bit more details about it because it is more than just about Burna Boy. So on set with me this morning, I have Miss Corelli Lyons, and she's the co-executive director of Tomac and Festival CEO. And then we also have Miss Arlene Lyons, another co-executive director and marketing and finance for the festival. Good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And of course, we have online with us none other than Dr. Rita Pemberton, of course, one of our favorite historians here in Tobago. Special good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, and good morning, Tobago, and all listeners.
All right. So first of all, I just want to get an idea of what is Tomac about. I mean, we're hearing Burna Boy, but it's more than just Burna Boy.
Yes, well, Tomac is Tobago Music Arts and Culture Festival. So it's going to be the first of its kind all-green entertainment festival here in Tobago. And the whole genesis of it is to just create a movement around connecting with our culture, with our roots. As many people may know, Tobago has strong ties to Nigeria. A lot of people here in Tobago trace back to the Igbo tribe. And so it was just a fortuitous thing that it happened that two key things came to being as we were in this mission of trying to uplift entrepreneurs and creatives on the island. My sister Corelli had this vision around this festival and got Dr. Pemberton involved so we could do this really authentic festival that helps people rediscover their roots. And then we started thinking about what kind of headliners would feed into this vision and mission. And we made that connection. Corelli is the one who made that connection with Burna Boy's mom.
Wow.
And the rest is history. So Corelli could talk a little bit more about the festival. She and Dr. Rita were very instrumental in creating the whole experience. It's a whole experience. It is for Tobago, by Tobago, done with Tobago in mind. And we are using it as an opportunity to bring a global stage to Tobago so that we could engage and promote our incredible entrepreneurial and creative talents here on the island.
Great. So, Ms. Corelli, give us an idea of what is this festival going to look like?
Okay, so TOMAC, as it's now called, Tobago Music, Arts and Culture, of course, is going to feature none other than, let me just put it in perspective, our very own Lord Papa Nelson. So he was one of the persons who inspired me, having met him in person, only in person this very year for his birthday, but we had connected previously. And when we were on this, when I was on this journey of looking for what Tobago, what can we do, we started a movement back just before the COVID hit. Arlene and myself, we started looking at Tobago and how do we help the next generation. The discovery there was that unlike us, who were brought up in a very academic, through the academics, it was about a flood of creatives in our own family. Then extending out from that, we discovered that Tobago is just phenomenal with talent of entrepreneurs. I mean, from the persons who can blow the conch shell to make music for you, to the persons who are creating these indigenous sweets, to the talent, the musical talent, the guys who are drumming. I mean, it was just awesome. And so what we started was we were looking, of course, COVID hit, and of course, a lot of those persons fell away. And it was really, really something that spoke to us about, look, let us take this as an opportunity. So for us, the pandemic was an opportunity to pivot, to rediscover, to rejuvenate, to refocus, to all the reasons. And out of that was where we decided, look, because Tobago is so uniquely set, because its market is like no other. It's not like Trinidad, it's not industrialized, but we have product in the form of creative talents here that we could export. One of the other things that the genesis of it was that during the lockdown, of course, most of us would have got reconnected with family and friends we haven't seen for years, right? So the virtual platform and digital did wonders for us. So we realized the diaspora is one of the most ready and available markets to tap into. And so here we are today where, and of course, Dr. Pemberton, who was part of us on the journey with the entrepreneurs of explaining why these talents exist in Tobago. So Dr. Pemberton in her history research was able to let us see where our talents originated. And of course, Africa, West Africa, Nigeria. And so when we created this festival to bring it as a product, it was about creating a new economy. It was about creating an ecosystem in which our unique talents would have a place to exist and thrive. So we looked at from Lord Nelson, who we all know is 91 years and is still performing, and he has, phenomenal works that he is sharing. We then came to looking at him and understanding the importance of our ancestors and our elders, he became our focus. He became, look, we must celebrate this man. And we took the festival, of course, now became a Plymouth ground, because Plymouth now has history untold existing.
And it is Lord Nelson's stomping ground.
It's where he was born.
Yes.
His place of birth still exists. He was able to share with us some of the amazing stories from his childhood growing up and how we are and why we are. So, taking Lord Nelson, we said this year, Tomac the inaugural is going to celebrate none other, our icon, our royalty, our amazing elder that we have. And interestingly, he was linked to Nigeria.
Wow.
So it's just so much that we have going for us with this. So we have, besides the actual entertainment, we have built into that where we are going to re-educate, especially our youth, on some of the things that are Tobago, the foods we eat, the way we prepare our foods, the way our organic eating, our healthy eating, our traditional healing. We are going to have youth empowerment as part of it. And we are also going to have in there a lot of the upcoming talent where we are going to create a stage and a space where they could be showcased.
And I want to bring Dr. Rita Pemberton into the conversation a little bit right now. And we're hearing you guys talking about that Nigeria-Tobago connection. And I want Dr. Rita Pemberton to expound a little bit about that, especially as someone who has been focused on, trying to reveal some of those connections. What can you tell us about that connection that we have with Nigeria?
Well, it all started with the trade in captive and enslaved Africans. And they were brought to Tobago from various parts of Africa and from some ports in the Caribbean. So that's our link, that we have as our cultural base the African population, which, as you know, has been the dominant element of the population in Tobago right up to present day. So the things that we do, the way that we speak, the way that we cook, the items that we relish, all those connect us back to Africa. And not just West Africa, Africa. Right? West Africa was the departure point, but the Africans came from different communities, nations within the large continent of Africa. So some came from south, some came from further east, others came, of course, from the West African coast, Nigeria, Ghana, but other parts as well. So we are well intertwined with Africa and things African.
How important it is for us to have such a festival that is focused on that Africa connection?
It is very important. Now, in Ghana, there is this symbolic bird, right? It looks backwards. And what it really says, one, do not be afraid of things you have forgotten of your past, but you must go back to your past in order to drive yourself forward. So we need to understand ourselves. We need to accept ourselves. And this is a problem we have in present day. And some people don't like to be black or to be considered black. But we look back and empower. So this festival is both things. It is an experience to go back, and it is an opportunity that gives us the means to move forward. So that Corelli mentioned the empowerment side of it, and that is a very important activity. So we are looking at things African. We are looking at what made us how we are. But we also need to make that connection. It's like family. You go back to your mother, your grandmother, your great-grandmother. And when you go far back enough, you land up somewhere in Africa.
It's a wonderful way.
Self-understanding is most important.
Now, we're having this festival during Carnival time. So is there any significance as to why are you guys having it during Carnival as opposed to another time during the year?
Sorry. Okay.
Sorry, Dr. Pemberton.
Yeah, Dr. Pemberton, you could go ahead.
No, I'm saying we have a carnival. Carnival conjures up in your people's minds certain images. What we want to do is to remind people we had a tradition in Tobago of entertainment, carnival-like, and we want people to remember that. So whatever the carnival brings, we have our cultural strength and which we want to give expression to, and to remind the present generation that this is where we were. This is how we did our thing. So we have our traditional carnival characters that we want to portray that some of this generation have never heard of, neither and also have never seen. So we want to bring that forward and say, well, this is us. That we could go and do modern carnival, but we have our own traditions which provide us with opportunities for business development, and it is not just that, it is that some of our traditions, the herbal traditions that we have ignored or we have been made to ignore, that we were told they were backward and they were superstitious and then now people are making them into items for health promotion that are advertised heavily on TV. And we have the bush growing out there in the yard. So what this culture does, what this thing does, is to focus on one, the yard. The yard is an important element of Tobago's development. Everybody had a yard. Some were big, others were small. But the yard, you grew things to survive, food-wise and health-wise. We want to go back to that. We talk about a green economy. The yard was the place where every birth was recorded by a tree. So we have a tradition of greening our spaces. We have a tradition of protecting our environment. We do have a program which is directed to the younger generations in school. The I can, we can, you can. So it is about not dumping waste in the environment. You reuse everything. That is a standard tradition. Any old house you see in Tobago would have some flower pots that were made of discarded milk tins or paint containers, and some of the utensils in the kitchen would be made from tins like milk, the cans that had milk and powder and those kinds of stuff that pebbles were put on. So people got a job. The Tin Man was an important person in the community, and the tins were reused. So Tobago developed a reputation of having a clean environment simply because there's this tradition. We want to maintain this tradition, but in addition to maintaining the tradition and keeping the greening of the environment, what we wanted to do, I can, you can, we can, to be marked as part of the mantra of persons to stimulate them to move upwards, to improve themselves, to empower themselves. So we are providing the basis for empowerment. We are going back to the fact that we did have some things that we can use for our empowerment and to improve our society and for our families. And we want to take everybody in Tobago right back there.
So if I can just
Yes, go ahead.
if I could just jump in on what Dr. Pemberton, so what she spoke to, I can, you can, we can, out of that and out of the festival being one that we hope to develop, that will be the model for all persons who are in the entertainment business, is that we have what we call the Dr. Rita Pemberton I Can Drive for students in the community schools. So that is where we spoke about using discarded items to make something out of it. And so we had to, in that initiative, we now had to rediscover the Tin Man, because the Tin Man is going to work with us and it is going to bring out the creative talents in the students where we are having a competition, whereas they collect these discarded cans, they will decorate them and they will be featured at the festival, at the Tomac Festival. So those are some of the things that we have as part of this. So this is a bigger undertaking than, as we said, more than Burner. It is that Burner is going to be the light, one of the lights that will shine on us and shine on our path, as Dr. Pemberton said. Look, reconnect with where we came from. And those of us who would have been following Burner will hear, as he said, his own words, that where we all came from. Recognizing where we all came from, that is Africa. So he was very thing. And in getting him here, it was interesting that when all the promoters we had on board, we had promoters with us when I joined in, persons whom I have previously worked with in the US, they were out in New York, they connected with their Nigerian promoters. And they were all trying to say, well, let's get Burner, right? Because you check on the ground, and he was really rocking and moving people. And we wanted that kind of inspirational person. And so I have not been, neither Arlene nor myself, we have not been promoters. But here it is, we are seeking to get this mega star.
Yes.
And all the promoters are going after him and he's not responding. They cannot find him. We had our Nigerian connection. They would go try to pick him up while he's at the clubs that he hung out with. No one could have found him. And there it is one day in our discussions going forward for the festival. The Nigerian promoter looks at me and says, sister, why don't you call Berna's mom? Why don't you call Berna's mom? So I'm like, call Berna's mom? No, I'm in Little Tobago here. He said, yes. I said, okay, give me the number. And as they say, I called and my very first call to her was answered. And I explained to her the movement that we were on. And she said, I will get you someone to call you, email this address and they will give you a date. And so that date that was set there, where we are today, just before the carnival, was a date that Berna set for us. So it's just everything has come together. And like Lord Nelson, he is just back from Nigeria, where he has been made a chief. So all of it has come together under this whole, as Dr. Pemberton explained, understanding where we have come from, our roots. Part of the festival is going to have DNA ancestry testing. So persons can start. We started again in the initiative that we had started for entrepreneurs under the Pride of Tobago Foundation and Catch the Wave Solutions, which is a business solutions company that we formed, focused on helping businesses to recover from the pandemic. We recognize the value in our diaspora. People were searching, people wanted to reconnect with Tobago, and we launched the Back to Roots initiative.
So what you're talking about here is an all-day experience.
It's a 4-day festival. So 5 days actually. On this Sunday, which is the 23rd, we will be having a soft opening, right? We have a number of symbolic gestures and rituals that will be engaged, again, to re-educate us. Then on the Monday, we open the festival where we'll have a range of our artists or artisans or cooking on the fireside, our fire on top, fire below kind of baking. We are going to have the dirt oven, and that is a very important symbol for us as a people in producing that food that most of us come to like. We don't even understand the origin of the dirt oven. So we have a merging of the what we call salt and soil ritual that we will be done, whereby the soil of both Nigeria and Tobago will come together on that dirt oven. Then we'll have that lighting, that's signature lighting of the dirt oven. But we'll also have another feature where persons would come out on that Monday to see what we call the lighting of the silk cotton tree. All those things have a lot of significance to our roots and where we are today. And of course, from the Monday where you have all these artisans, you're going to see, again, the herbs, everything. We then have the grand opening ceremony, and a recognition of Lord Nelson is going to be tribute is going to be paid to him there, where he is going to be the first to put his footprint on the Walk of Fame. And we have Kes the band who is going to be there. Kes and Papa, they have a collaboration as well. So that's the Monday night. And then of course we go into the Tuesday where we have the youth empowerment, and again the festival is open. We're going to have showing the young people both from using your authentic talents to as well the gig economy, how you use music. We're going to go into cosmetology and the beauty business, talking to the entrepreneurs. We know all about the nails, we know all about the weaves, we know all those things. And those are amazing, amazing, sustainable livelihoods that we want to give that hand to. And on the Wednesday, of course, we're going to have what we call our wellness, our organic eating, our traditional healing, how we use our herbs, how we use our yard, our backyard. Yes. So it's really going to be that type of thing. And then, of course, after the Wednesday with the market, we're going to have the market. We have a museum where, and this is a sustainable event. So every year, persons can look forward what next is going to be revealed and retaught about our past, about our history, our ancestry, about all the things that Tobago has passed through. Is going to be shown every year at this Tomac Festival. And of course, we culminate
just for the pre-carnival with the Burner Boy concert, where he is going to be on stage with some of our amazing artists, our lineup, our own Tobago artists, Xavier Edwards, Adana. We also going to have, made an amazing discovery, a brilliant discovery. We have found Ayuma, 14 years old, Afrobeat singer. She is going to be on the stage with Burner on that Thursday, along with, of course, a number of our artists out of Trinidad, Isasha, Nyla Blackman. They are all in the lineup with Burner, Sherwin Winchester. So it's going to be an amazing 4 days.
Yeah, one of the things, as we talk about this history and sharing the heritage where we come from, I don't want the young people to feel like this is going to be some kind of boring experience. We are merging indigenous with digital. We are going to blow them away with how we are going to present some of this information and knowledge in a very engaging way with the use of technology. The festival will have a festival village stage where we will have lots of entertainment, some of our Tobago favorites like Prince Unique and Gerard Balfour and Sharon Phillips. And we're going to have a fashion presentation on both days. So there is going to be a lot for the young people to experience. And we want to make, before we wrap up, I have an announcement to make that all these people in Tobago have been waiting for. So, before, just signaling to you before you wrap up, I want to share that announcement, an exclusive for Tobago.
All right, and just before we get into the exclusive, I just want to bring Dr. Rita Pemberton again in. Now, you mentioned a museum, and I am just guessing here that Dr. Rita Pemberton would be part of that museum. Is that so?
Yes, of course. I am part of the museum physically, yes. But what we're doing in the museum is to identify items that can be used to illustrate the whole journey of the people of Tobago from their various departure points or the departure points of their ancestry from West Africa to where we are now. So we are still looking for items, but we have a fair collection of very, very valuable, very informative items that will be explained to people who come through the museum during the days of our activity.
And by none
So we
other
hope-
than
We
Great.
hope we have a lot of people coming in and school children coming in as well, because as I said, it is an opportunity. It's an experience and an opportunity to learn and an opportunity to acquire information that is valuable for you to move onwards and upwards.
Well, I am very excited. That history side of me is very, very excited about that part. But I'm also excited to hear this exclusive announcement that you have for us.
So we're wrapping up now.
Yes.
Okay, so I know a lot of our people here on the ground in Tobago have been waiting for this. We've been getting all the inquiries. When are we going to have some physical tickets on the ground here in Tobago? So we are starting today. We will have physical tickets for sale exclusively for Tobago, and we are including some early bird specials for both the Burna Boy concert at $500 and the Lord Nelson Kester Band tribute concert as well, general early bird, $300. And we will have those tickets available at a few different outlets, and we will be adding more. One is Jade Monkey in Crown Point that everybody should be familiar with. There is a store in the airport, Uji Wawa, Ujiwawa, very suitable name for a Tomac festival. So that shop is right next to Caribbean Airlines in the airport.
It's a new shop that opened.
It's a new shop that opened. So Tomac is new. We're kind of introducing some new and different players into the picture, and we will also have tickets at Maison Deluxe. Maison Deluxe is in Lowlands Mall, right next to Scotia Bank. And so we will have tickets there as well. And we will be opening up an outlet in Scarborough and an outlet in the East very soon. So we are reserving tickets for you folks up in the East. We are reserving tickets for you. So don't worry that the outlets that we are announcing here are all on the west side. So.
And then finally, how can people get connected with you guys to follow on all the updates and all the news about what's going to be happening?
So we have a website, tomacfestival.com, so you can check things out there. One of the things that we are really pushing hard on, we are getting an overwhelming response to a survey we put out asking people who's interested in getting travel to come here. So we are kind of working on some of those charter options. So that is on our social media, which is Tomac Fest. We have Instagram as well as Facebook, so people can connect there as well. And we have a number for people making inquiries about tickets. 34 Tomac. 34 Tomac is our phone contact.
Great. All right, well, thank you so much for being on with us. Of course, Dr. Pemberton, thank you for being up with us. I mean, I am certainly looking forward to seeing this festival come into fruition and then just seeing that connection established with Africa and some of Dr. Pemberton's knowledge. You know, it's always amazing to hear the stuff that Dr. Pemberton has for us. Right. But of course, we're also looking to the cultural elements and the winner boy.
Thank you so much for having us here, and we want to say to all our Trinidad friends, who are excited to get to Tobago, to Tomac, you all are our first set of patrons, but we are open to the world because this is about showing what Tobago is made of, the talents that we are possessed of, and this is our market. And this is a new experience that we would like to invite everyone to. So we are looking forward to you, and we just want to say a special thank you to you, Candice, for having us.
Of course.
And to Mr. Pax for also. We just want to say to the entire Tobago Updates team.
It was our pleasure.
We love you all. You all were at the launch, and we appreciate that, and we look forward to seeing you all at Tomac.
And of course, yes, we'll be bringing to you highlights and perhaps a lot more. Well, as the weeks and days roll in, the more details will be shared. But viewers, well, that's how we come to the end of our program this morning. It was wonderful being with you. So have a wonderful day. Be safe, be productive out there. And we'll see you again tomorrow at 7 a.m. So bye for now, folks.
Yeah. Hey.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and Denise.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the sky.